So let me move things around a little bit. I think the two major arcanas are a major factor. They sort of sit in the middle of the reading. And the feeling I'm getting from them is, I'll just bring this back in so you can see a little bit clearer. The feeling I'm getting from these two, it's almost as if when we say take a break from society and a commitment to your spiritual growth, and then we have the ego next to it, illusions of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, or getting caught up in fear and worry. And that thing that he's burning there says guilt. Some of you might have been putting yourself out of sight or wanting to work on an aspect of you that you have seen as or perceived to be your shadow self. So there might be a feeling of a little bit of guilt around, and it could be to do with behavioural patterns. It could be to do with things like addictions or obsessions. It could be to do with relationships that you've either been involved in or that have been placed upon you, and that you might feel that you've been hiding it away from either yourself or from the public. It might be that you are feeling the burden of some of these things, and you've gone into not regression, but you've gone into this place like the hermit, sort of saying, well, I think it's either time to rearrange these things in my life, or to move them on, or to get rid of them. And there could be a degree of expansion or growth coming for you at this time, and learning how to deal with it or regaining strength from it. And I think it's very personal. It's almost like you're doing it yourself on your own, or you're keeping it to yourself. That's what the hermit makes me feel. And it's definitely coming back to this devil card, which is often about excesses in life, or the burdens of imbalance, whether it be imbalance of physical relationships around us, or imbalance of our own thoughts or projections of desires that we have. So I think some of you are doing work at a subtle level, and the work that you're doing in either clearing mire or muck out of situations or relationships or feelings or ways that you've been handling things, the way you end up dealing with it will raise your level of frequency and vibration, and I think you will have an expansion from it, because that's also what the hermit talks about. It is a commitment to your spiritual growth, and sometimes this can happen without us even realizing that this is coming about, and sometimes it's because we're pushed into it from situations that are surrounding us one way or another, whether we've brought it on by ourselves, or we've been forced into a situation, or someone else's energy and their ego is creating this energy field of desire for change. So I think that, to me, feels as though it's a major feature for you for June. And I also think it's tied up with the eclipses that are coming. So some of you may not be aware of this happening yet, because I'm doing this reading in mid-May, and the eclipse energy works for a very long extended time, sometimes from 3 to 6 months before the eclipses, and likewise 3 to 6 months afterwards. So you may not be aware of this concept happening yet, or it might be just starting to rumble in the background and gain some sort of momentum. For others of you, you may have been very aware of the situation and feeling unpleasant about the pressures on you, or the attitudes around you, or your own behavior or attitude in dealing with certain circumstances or situations, and you are really ready to bring about this change. But again, you may not even be aware that you're doing it, or that it's going to come to you from yourself, or from your higher self, or from contemplation, or from meditation, or from understanding things at a vaster, more distant, speculative level. It could be that you see things from the bigger picture, which enables you to break free. So there's a feeling with these two here that some breaking free is going to come into the situation. It's surrounded on either side by these two pentacles, and pentacles often refer to money, or our career, or how we earn money, or what we do with it, how we spend it or invest it. So money somehow could be tied up into this, whether it's attachment to money or attachment to physical things in your life. And of course, Taurus, you guys have this beautiful sphere of opulence about you. You often are the astrological sign that is deemed to be wealthy and stable and materialistic in many ways, because it flows to you. It's part of your natural essence of that grounded bull energy, you know, the strength and dominion that you herald from the earth energy. And earth, of course, is the provider of all our physical manifestations, which include career and include money and include the home. So some of these things that are being worked on from your psyche, if you like, may expand out through your home or into the financial realm or even into the base chakra area of life, and because that's where the pentacles sit as well. And of course the devil is often in that base chakra area too. Some of you may have felt that you had blocks in this area, that you were not fully flowing in positivity, and that's where this imbalance of the devil energy can come from. Some of you may have felt that you haven't been receiving enough of the money or finances or gratuitousness in terms of your home or where you live or your family or your soul tribe. You might have felt like there was some mire or muck involved in that, and this could be creating this desire to clean it up or open it up or clear any blockages, especially in the base chakra energy field. So I think that's a personal message for you, and however you're dealing with it or however you see the messages coming in, you know, you may or may not feel into this. It might be addressing your particular scenario in a different light as well. Because remember, this card here is such a beautiful one, the Six of Autumn, and it's all about the giving and taking of life. So it might be actually that you decide to do more giving. You might be in a situation where you have finances or love or time or energy or nurture to give out. You might become a mentor to people, and this in turn might help your spiritual evolution or growth, which might free you up from a hold that something has had on you. You may be on the receiving end as well, and some of you may receive extra money through inheritance, dividends, a windfall, a gain of some sort. And even he over here can represent that, because he is often known as the entrepreneur. He's very good with money. He has established finances and money very much. It also says be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. So that's also balancing off the back of this card. It's putting this positive energy into here, saying, no, I'm not going to take any more of being told what to do or being subjugated or feeling in this court position for whatever reason, whether it's self-induced or whether it's been placed upon you. So there's a definite story that was going on with these four up here, and I do think career is also a possibility in here. Some of you may be growing in terms of career perspectives. You may get a career offer or a pay rise or an increment or even a job if you haven't been employed. Then we come down to the lower three, and I'll just move them up so you can see them. The Three of Cups is a lovely card. It's known as the sisterhood card in life, and it often refers to events of celebration, and she says news worth celebrating, announcements such as weddings, graduation, births, or friends that you cherish. Sometimes you might get together with three friends and go on a short holiday or break, or you know that they're there for your support and care, and they may be part of this cycle of giving and taking and receiving. They may be part of that whole journey. The Five of Swords, on the other hand, is a little bit more argumentative and troublesome, in as much that it can be a final farewell of friendships. When this card comes out, it says walk away from dishonest associations, realizing that what you thought you wanted wasn't the best choice for your happiness and something that's not worth the effort. So again, it's sort of matching up here with this Devil card. It's almost like a realization is coming for you that something or someone has not been serving your highest level to your best moving forward to your most optimum being or well-being. And when it reaches that point, sometimes we go, right, that's it, that's the end. I'm moving away from this person or these people or these ideas or this particular hold on me, or I'm going to let go of this addiction or obsessive behavior or this imbalance in my life. Oftentimes this does refer to other people and relationships, and it can be about having arguments with them, real big verbal, full-on, I'm standing my ground type thing and I'm not going to take it from you anymore. If that happens, there is the likelihood that these people walk away for good forever, and you may never come in contact with them again. It feels as though for some of you, that's almost what's needed to cleanse it out, to have the string cut. And sometimes we call that cutting the etheric cords. So some of you might even be going through that process of cutting etheric cords of people who have had ties in you, pulls on your soul especially. Sometimes these are ex-partners or ex-lovers or family members when we've had big falling outs with family. This can be part of the cords that they are holding on to. And so some of you might do that type of cleansing, which is very spiritual cleansing. And for others of you, it may be more at a physical level that's more obvious. So plenty going on within that whole storyboard there. And I do think they're actually all quite linked. The one I don't seem to link into much is this one here. But if we come back to this 10 of Wands, this one says, ask for help from others, all work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. Now, often this is associated with our career or our creative side in life. The 10 is often about reaching an understanding or awareness and being ready to move into a new paradigm or perspective in life, because it's the ending of a cycle. So it often talks about the fact that you've learnt much information while you've been undergoing processes, and this again could be in the creative world or within a career. So this can mean moving forward in a career, an opportunity, a promotion, a change in career, deciding that you have been working too hard and want some time off, which is what they said, all work and no play. So giving yourself time out from something, coming back to the Hermit, rethinking or re-strategizing where you're headed in life, exactly what it is you want, what are you seeking. I do think this eclipse for you guys might be very intense, and it might bring about really strong changes in your ideals or your perspectives or how you feel you are being treated or what you're doing with yourself even. A deep reading, even with those few cards and the messages that have come in, but nice in many, many ways, because it heralds quite profound change, I think, that's on the cusp for you. Let us see now what is coming for Taurus for June. I might just take that out a little bit more again. Taurus for June. The garden and the gate, that's unlocking yourself from something that's been tethering you down. Do you see the key around her neck? She does hold the key to her own personal freedom. She just has to get the key into the lock on the gate and open that gate. And which way does she want to walk, left or right or straight up into the background? It's decision making. Deceit, number 25, he's not dissimilar to the energy of the devil, and he's holding coins in his hand. There could be deceit around you from other people. There could have been monetary deceit going on. There could be financial issues or something that's been hiding. Again, hidden agenda stuff that might come out when the eclipses happen. But this could also be deceit from your own mind about how you're feeling or dealing with money or finances. The Patience card has come out. That's been out for a couple of people, talking about galactic timing there. So something that you are wanting is perhaps either on hold or it's taking longer than you think. And that definitely bears in mind the Hermit, because the Hermit is about time and taking time. So it might be that you wish you could hurry something up or speed it up or speed this whole process up of change. But it's saying to you, take your time and balance things out. The contract is an interesting card. You've got that, and you've got strategy and woman holding a heart. Let's take these two. They tie in together really well. The contract can be a literal contract coming in terms of a job offer or signing something such as the purchase of a home, shares, or finance, a loan, something along those lines. And it's asking you to deploy a good strategy here. So making sure you do things like due diligence and that you have a plan in hand for anything that you are undertaking. But certainly they're saying there's this possibility for these events to be taking place. I don't really go much on the deceit in the background, so do watch yourself if you are dealing in money or finances or signing contracts. Make sure there's no one like him behind the scenes doing this deal. You know, he could be someone who you've gone to about a loan, or he could even be a family member who's doing something dodgy or wants some of your money or funds. We'll hide him. We'll stop his energy from being propelled forward in the reading. Now, if we come back a little bit more intensely to the contract doesn't necessarily just have to be in the here and now and a physical type written pen and paper on a paper like this one, or to do with money as there is here, but it can be more about soul contracts. So this is going through the karmic intertwines of life that we're dealing with at the moment and have been for the last 18 months or so. This is a very intense time on earth for us as humans, but it will also affect every living thing on earth as well as Gaia herself. And this is in part due to the Lord of Karma, Mr. Saturn, the planet. He is ruling a whole lot of change coming through for us, but it's a freedom, if you like. And again, we're talking freedom from the binds that have held us or entrapped us or enslaved us from often previous lives and karmic situations. Now, most often, when the devil comes up, these relationships or unhealthy tendencies have come through some previous lifetime or karmic boundary, and they're tied into contracts, soul contracts that we made before we came in. So it looks to me as if you guys have got this opportunity to break free of a soul contract. And this gives you an opportunity for the soul to blossom and to flourish and to feel light and to move forward in your powerful spiritual growth. So again, all these cards are reiterating the story of re-empowerment or freedom that's coming for you. The soul contract can be with relationships, but it can also be with health issues. It can be to do with ancestral healing. It can be to do with mental health, finances, money, how we are affected by all of those, and how we, how they worm their way through our physical life in this timeline and what it does to us. So there's an availability here for you guys to really go through some powerful learning lesson, or you're nearly at the end of it and you're being offered a freedom, like a get out of jail card that you can use. So there's a lot of power within this reading, and I think the power will be returned to you. That's, of course, if you're aware of it coming and can act on it. So a hang of a lot going on. A woman holding a coin. There's more coins in here. She's far better than the deceitful one behind. But there might be other people tied up in your money somehow. Like, I feel as if other people are playing a role in your finances, either whether they decide who gets it, or how you get it, or how often you get it, or who you give it to, or who it comes from. There's something in the background about that. We haven't talked much about her. She's holding a heart for you, or that's you holding your heart out for someone. This can be new love, opportunities of love, the heart being mentioned. It could be physical heart health as well to get checked. The thinking man, a lot of grounded energy. So we're not seeing much of the ethereal coming in. We're definitely dealing down here with the base chakra, with that big Taurus grounded energy, with the fundamentals of life, like your your home, your finances, your soul tribe or your tribe, your family, fears, things along those lines. It's all here, and there's a lot of thinking and strategy to be deployed for you to either change the situation, to change it up, or to free yourself out of something that has had a hold on you. And using logic, using strategy in particular, because that was another one under here, remember? Strategy and the thinking man are very, very similar. When those come in together, they're really asking you to put a good strategy in place and to really use some intellect and some power in the decisions that you make as you move forward. And that crystal he is holding is an abundance crystal, and I do have one here, and I can put it right where he's holding his, because that is a manifestation crystal. It helps to bring the manifestation of money or the manifestation of positivity coming forward for you. So really imbue that energy into the reading and empower yourself up with that highly charged crystal and what it has to offer. So we'll just do a couple more from here. There's a release and surrender. We shower you with the blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms and heart to our love and assistance. And right next to it is the heart, and she's holding it in her hands. There's some powerful messages going on for you guys within the words of the cards, within the colours of them, within the way they're coming out. So there's no doubt that you've had guides in here for your reading, really working hard to deliver the messages for you. And I hope that you are able to fully uplift them and to be energized by them and to have them see the power that you can re-emerge yourself with, or to add to and move forward into the